Hello and what is up, guys? My name is YUGIOH. I'm from Screencasters, and we're doing something a little bit different today. We're doing a top 5 countdown of the top 5 rogue decks this format. I was thinking about doing meta decks, but most people already know what the top 5 decks this format in terms of meta. So I decided to do something a little bit different today and focus on rogue decks because they never get enough love. So without further ado, let's get started. Starting off the countdown with number 5 is Yosenju's with 3 Card Demise. Card Demise single-handedly helped shape this format, and one of the decks it gave a lot of power to, in addition to all the other rogue decks it gave a lot of speed to, is Yosenju's. Yosenju's can basically abuse almost all the back row in the game, almost all the floodgates they can main. They can main lose one turn, and the band played on, Drowning Mirror Force, almost every floodgate, Macro Defissure, 2 very powerful cards, as well as Necro Valley. It's just a really good deck and has so much consistency now because you have 3 Card Demise, 3 Pod Duality, 3 Fire Formation Tenki. You got all this search power, all this draw power, and you have access to Lightning Chidori, which is by far one of the best XYZs in the rank 4 pool, one of them at least. Basically, you resolve your card Demise, then your Yosenju's. So your Yosenju's go back in the hand after you already discarded everything for card Demise, but you probably won't because you'll be drawing a lot of traps which you'll be setting. So basically you have your 3 Yosenju's that you keep normal summoning and poking for damage. Because the card Demise is truly one of the best decks this format. Coming out at number 4 is Yang Zings. Yang Zings have always been a very strong and powerful deck. It really depends on the format. They can really utilize some of the self-popping cards like Scrap Dragon or Sky Iris or Break Sword to pop your own Yang Zings and then get your pluses off it, get your tuners to do more synchro action. If you do decide to do the Zephyr build, you got access to your Pendulum Scales. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon will allow you to search your Eccentric Archfiend, which is pretty good. Free spot removal, which is great, and you can actually pendulum summon your stuff out, which is very good. Or you can go more so along the trap build and just focus on a lot of floodgates and stuff like Anti-Spell Fragrance, Skill Drain, all that other stuff. Your Yang Zings will still get their effects when they get destroyed if Skill Drain is up, which is very good. Nothing's better than ending your board with 3 boxes on the field ready to attack. Or you can even overlay into number 38 Titanic Galaxy for more stun factors. Coming at number 3 on the countdown is everybody's favorite deck. It is Heroes. Darklaw will always be a very powerful card and a very relevant card in the meta because it's just a truly great card. A one-sided Macrocosmos that banishes your opponent's hand is very good. He's easy to summon. If his deck revolves around it, you're basically good to go against any of the meta decks, especially Monarchs and Burning Abyss. You don't even have to focus on the Darklaw Turbo. You can even go around the Destiny Hero route and have Destiny Hero Malicious and Destiny Draws, get some draw power, and you can even use Mass Change on your Malicious to get to Darklaw really easy, and since you can banish that Mally for another one, you can just keep the train running. You can tech in some Plague Spur Zombies for some synchro action, and Devoid Ogre, have nothing in your hand. So you get a free negate that helps you from the Regeki, which heroes are kind of afraid of, and Darklaw to control your opponent's board and hand. Plus you have the entire rank 4 toolbox at your disposal. The deck has a lot of search power in terms of the E-Call, or the Shadow Mist and Bubble Mans. You got the rank 4s with the Bubble Mans. You just have a lot of cool things at your disposal, and you even have your own Heavy Storm because of your Master Hero Acid, which is very good against those random Klee Demise decks. Now, I wasn't really sure on the order of the last 2 decks of this countdown, but I decided on this deck for being number 2, and I'll explain why it's a little bit not as good as number 1. Coming in at number 2 is Mermails, one of the best decks of the format. One of the best decks across several formats. Mermails have always been kind of like Heroes with borderline meta, but what really helps the deck right now is we got the new card from Bosch, which is Atlantean Prince Neptibus, which really helps the dynamic of the deck, which basically gives you another Dragoons to play with. Plus, what feels better than ripping 3 cards out of your opponent's hand with Moving Glacier and Abyss Lead? Plus, with Norden, you get a free rank 4 with your Abyss Dweller, and since you got Norden as material, all your waters gain 500 attack, which is very good. It truly helps you with the OTK, and Mermails have basically been known to OTK really fast. If you don't have the Battle Fader, they really can just steal games from you. Plus, you can pop set cards with your Marksman, you can even pop face-up cards with your Heavy Infantry, and you can search basically any piece you want with the Dragoons. And you have your own searchable spell negation in terms of the Abyss Scale. Not only that, but you also have the rank 7 pool with Abyss Gaios, Big Eye, Draco Sack, and even Flare Metal to burn your opponent for game. The deck is very fast, very consistent, and can really steal games in terms of the meta and almost every rogue deck. And coming in at number 1 is going to be one of my favorite decks to play, and is literally one of the best rogue decks this format, because basically if it's paired up against any other rogue deck, it'll basically have a very easy matchup against it. Coming in at number 1 is Odd Eyes / Pendulum Magicians. Having Pendulum Call at 3 is very good. It protects your scales. It makes sure they can't be destroyed, which is a good thing. I highly doubt your opponent's going to waste a Castel for one of your scales, which is already searchable, so you know why. Plus, you have access to a lot of really good main deck outs to things, like Magispector Kirin. It can't be destroyed or targeted by card effects, and it's an either player Compulse, which is very good for monsters. You have Apex Avion, which can negate basically everything. You got Odd Eyes Vortex that can negate everything. Meteor Burst to stop floating, which is good for Cosmos. You even have Jinkei Magician, it helps you against those random light decks. You can even main deck Secret Village at a Spellcaster, so your opponent can't even play spell cards unless they also have Spellcasters, so that basically eliminates almost every deck in the meta, you know? You can even load up your deck with Ariadnes to get some counter traps action going on, which is very good. You don't have to pay for them, and they're very good in the format right now. The reason I put Pendulum Magicians ahead of Murmurs is because Pendulum Magicians are a little bit more consistent, and they don't rely on the OTK. They also have some stun factors, so not just all in full burst, but they definitely can OTK very easily. Especially when Pendulum summon all your big monsters out and just push for game, it's very easy. They can overlay your 2 level 7s for Flare Metal and burn the opponent for game, which is also another option. And that's why I choose Pendulum Magicians for my #1 rogue deck this format. So yeah, that was my top 10 countdown. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want me to do more stuff like this, just comment down below your suggestions and I'll do it, yeah. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the list. Comment down below what you guys think of it. If you got any more ideas for countdowns, let me know and I'll get to them. Yeah, any comment suggestions would be very appreciated. So yeah, don't forget to like the video, comment the video, and subscribe to my channel, which is Screencasters, for ever get amazing videos similar to this one. Once again, my name is Jaeger from Screencasters. I'm signing out. See you guys.
Hurry up! Give me my son!